here in Orlando, Florida for the Pokemon TCG Regional Tournament. I have my friends behind me. One I'm actually staying with. I actually met him for the first time ever at the airport, and he's going to be my roommate for this trip. I decided today's going to be a very heavy tournament, competitive oriented vlog, not so much recording the whole trip kind of thing, because I am sitting on a lot of Japan vlogs, so I want to get that editing done. So I'm so excited. I'm going to be playing an underdog deck, a deck that most people would consider bad, a meme deck, and that is Zacian V-Star. Now the reason I'm playing this deck is, well, Zacian is one of my favorite Pokemon. They've had this deck available in Japan ever since last summer, but it just got released recently in the set Crown Zenith. So this deck isn't going to have too much long of a lifespan because a lot of the cards get rotated out mid-April when the Scarlet and Violet come out. We got to spend some quality time with our boy Zacian V, just like how we're spending some quality time with the homies behind us right here. Are you guys excited?
Yeah. Yep.
What's the goals for today? Let's go in order here. What's your goal for today?
Make it to tomorrow.
Okay.
Same. Day 2, bro.
All right, day 2. That's the goal. My goal too. The tournament is about to start. I have my deck laid out in front of me. We got all 60 cards, and I mentioned that because last night when we were testing inside of a McDonald's, I was 2 cards short for the entire time we were testing. So it was a painful session, especially after I realized my deck didn't have every card in it. Everything's here. I'll show you guys the deck list before we get into round number 1. And yeah, Sashi and Mario are testing right now. We got the Gudra, we got the Lugia, and then what are you running as well? Lugia?
Lugia.
Lugia. So I'm wondering how many Lugias I'm gonna bump into today, but hopefully not too many at the first few rounds, because this is the biggest Pokemon regionals of all time. There's like 1,750 players in total, and that's a lot of players. So I'm expecting to play against a lot of like random kind of decks going into the first 4 or 5 rounds potentially. And then once we get to the higher tables, of course, that's when we're gonna probably see a lot of the meta decks out there, like Lost Box featuring Raikou, Amazing Rayquaza, Kyogre potentially, Mew VMAX, and of course, Lugia. Round 1's gonna start pretty soon, and it looks like it's like my opponent might not be appearing today. There's empty chair. Empty chair. I wouldn't mind the round 1 win. Not a no-show for round number 1, but unfortunately, I left Canada to play not just another Canadian, but another person who comes to the locals all the time. We got Marvin. So man, I saw his playmat, I'm like, I recognize him. I saw the face, I'm like, okay, I think I know this guy. And then he knew who I was, so I'm like, okay, it's him. So yeah, we're gonna have some fun today, playing someone I play at locals almost every week, like every other week. So this should be a fun one. All right. Game 1 was insanely close. Game 2, I just got rolled, but it was an awkward game. Both of us couldn't set up properly. He started Zigzagoon, and I just couldn't get any energies on board. It was a rough one. My deck, I tried to tech it out a little bit to beat Lost Box, and it just wasn't cooperating as well today. Made a couple misplays. Was not expecting to play against someone I knew from locals at my first round here in Orlando, Florida. And I was hoping I wouldn't fight against his deck until the later rounds. Starting off the tournament 0-1, hopefully we can bounce back and get some wins these next couple of rounds. That was such a fun game. Jamie, GG's man, it was a pleasure playing against you. I had so much fun. Sui and Zoroark was not a deck I was expecting to play against today, but he played it, and he played it really well. The first game was insanely close because we were all setting up exactly the way we wanted to. It was a really close back and forth. Game 1, I ended up winning. Game number 2, he started his Sui and Zoroark and just passed. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can try and go for a crazy turn 1 Brave Blade knockout on my first turn. Unfortunately, the Greninja I had in my deck was prized, and I dug through my deck, like half my deck with my Mews. I used 3 scoop up nets as well on my turn. I dug through literally half my deck, and I couldn't find the Hisuian Heavy Ball. Super close at the end though, where he almost 1-hit KO'd my Zacian V with 3 energies on it. because he hit a heads on the Pokemon catcher to bring it up. When he attacked with his Hisuian Zoroark V-Star and all the digging that he did, he was only able to do 210 damage, 10 damage short of killing my Zacian V. The following turn, I put an energy on it, I top decked it, played a Zacian V-Star and hit him with a 1-8 KO. It was beautiful in terms of my gameplay of the deck running exactly as planned. Now, if my deck could run like that against, you know, Lugia's, oh, my dream come true. Round 3 is about to start pretty soon, but I have an exclusive interview with the one, the only, the...
Yo, what's up? What's up, everybody? I am currently 2-0. I am on Regis today. Thought Regis were a really good meta call. I think it can beat Goodra. Most Goodra lists actually don't play Paracel. Have a good Lugia matchup. I think you can beat Lost Zone decks pretty well. I think it just has like a good matchup spread, and obviously Mew's another good one. So far, I've played against Lost Box with the Rayquaza and the Raikou, and then I played against Lugia in round 2. So we'll have to see what round 3 entails for me.
Is there any decks that you kind of fear fighting against?
Any deck, Goodra's scary because if they play the Paracel, then it's really bad. I would say the one I'm scared of the most is any deck that has solid answers to me, or any deck with Ice Cube. There's a few people I've talked to who have Ice Cube in their deck, either in Lost Box or like a Thornton Palkia combo that I'm very scared of. I don't want to see Temple of Sinnoh. I don't want to see Collapse Stadium.
I happen to have 3 Temple of Sinnoh, so you better watch out. But if you keep winning, we're probably not going to match up because I have the 1 loss under my belt right now. So good luck, man. Keep it up.
Thank you. You too, bro.
All right, round 3. Not expecting to play against the Fusion Strike Mew today. I was expecting a lot more Turbo Mews, and because of that, it was kind of my downfall. Last night when I was finalizing my deck and making sure I had all the cards I wanted for my deck, I decided to go for the build of my deck that doesn't have Drapion and Crobat in it, because that was really good for the Mew matchups, but I was expecting to fight more Lost Box and more Lugias, less or so Mew, and definitely less Fusion Strike Mew. I went for the safer approach to my deck rather than going for a anti-Mew build, and that definitely bit me in the butt that match against Christopher. He beat me 2-0, which was really painful. Definitely getting hungry. My stomach was speaking to me during the round, so I think we're gonna need a lunch break after the next round. So 1 more round to go into lunch break. We're currently 1 win, 2 loss. We still have hopes for day 2 right now. We have to go. We have to go on a pretty big streak right now, but you're allowed to lose, I believe, 3 games and 1 tie. So I already have 2 of my losses under my belt. Hopefully we can get some more wins. Oh man, another round against another Mew deck. This time we played against the Turbo Mew variant, and this time we had a better chance at winning compared to the Fusion Strike. However, we still ended up losing 2-0. It was a really good game, really fun. My deck was doing a lot of work, but I was just missing a couple key cards when I really needed them. And so we take these L's, man. Guy was friendly. He had a really cool V-Star marker too that his girlfriend designed. It was like a Chinchu Pokemon card that she painted over, which is sick. In order to make it for day 2, we have to win every single game here on out. So we have to go on an insane win streak, and if we get even one tie is enough for me to not qualify for day 2. Let's grab some lunch, grab some fuel, get some caffeine. I'm getting tired. We gotta get re-energized and pumped up. We bumped into a subscriber.
Hey guys, it's Matthew Blair here. What's up? Here in London Regionals, having a great time.
What deck are you playing today?
Mew VMAX, obviously.
Mew VMAX, obviously. Dude, I took out my Drapions last night. It's probably my biggest regret.
So I'm
oh, you're spectating?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you playing in the side events and
Yes,
stuff?
I am.
Nice.
I lost against Zoroark.
Ooh, I actually played against the Zorak in round 2.
Assuming Zorak V-Star?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
God. Well, awesome.
Yeah.
Please subscribe to him. He's the best
subscribe.
YouTuber.
Appreciate you, man. Thank
Yeah.
you. Heading out to lunch in just a second, but we bumped into the man, Zach Lesage, repping his Team Shuffle Squad jersey. I like the jerseys.
we got it. Thank
the
you,
jerseys
thank
are
you.
nice. How's your game so far today, and what deck are you playing?
So I'm running Arceus Duraludon, and I'm currently 2-2.
Okay.
I've lost to a Lugia due to double bricking.
Yes.
And what was the other loss that I lost to? Mew VMAX. Not
Mew
very
VMAX.
good matchup.
Oh,
So
okay.
a little bit of variance, a little bit of bad matchup.
Yeah.
Bringing it back, trying to go for the 7-2. No IDs today.
Yeah.
I'm saying that now. We'll see how round. We'll try to make it to round 9 anyways.
Yeah, I have one question because I've known you for being a competitive player for a long
Sure.
time now, but I honestly don't know your favorite Pokemon, like, of all time. What's your favorite Pokemon of all time?
It's tough between Blacephalon
Okay.
and Kingdra.
And do any of these have to do with because of the TCG at all, or?
I think it has a lot to do with the TCG.
Ah,
I got
okay.
my first trip to Worlds
Yeah.
in 2005, 2006 season
Yeah.
with a Kingdra Delta species deck.
Okay.
So that's the fire type Kingdra. A lot of people know me for being the Blounds guy, Blacephalon guy, so I really like Blacephalon.
That's
Hard not to
dope.
fall in love with the Pokemon after you like sit in front of it every day. So.
Honestly, yeah, Zacian was like never one of my top, and after loving it and playing it so much, it's one of my top favorite Pokemon now. One last question, since
Sure.
there's a lot of people who watch here that are collectors and are aspiring players, do you have any tips for people who might want to join into the TCG side of things? Like maybe
Sure.
when it comes to deck building or just any advice for someone who might want to start playing competitively or go to regionals or something like that?
Yeah, gotcha. So right now we currently don't have like locals in Pokemon due to some trickling effects of the pandemic. But we do run online events. I run late night series events on the Play Limitless website. So I totally check those out. And you can either play on PTCGO, PTCG Live. So there's a lot of opportunities there, and that's a really good way to get your feet wet into it. Beyond that, I think it's just like researching on YouTube, researching online, finding some deck lists, and really just starting to play with it. But online's really easy to get into.
If you could recommend 2 decks that are somewhat like semi-competitive
Sure.
for a new player to start playing the game with, what would those 2 decks be?
I really like the Mew VMAX League Battle deck.
Okay.
So if you go to any Target, Walmart, wherever you are, order 2 of those. Very competitive deck if you kind of mix them together and source out some cards.
Yeah.
We just had Leon win Liverpool Regionals with that deck. Definitely if you're balling on a budget and you got a tier 1 deck out of it, very good for our post-rotation format as well. The other one is probably the deck that I'm running today right now is Arceus Duraludon. I think that deck you could probably put together for like under $100. Quite effective, easy to play, good matchup spread.
Oh man, I definitely regret spending $11 on that super meh pizza from Papa John's, but now it's time to get on to round number 5. We have to do the unthinkable and go on a 5-game win streak. And with that game, our tournament hopes for day 2 come to a close. We ended up with a tie. We had a win in the first game, lost in the second. Oh, I definitely misplayed really hard in the second. I could have had it. I even used my Zamazenta V-Star ability, but he ended up getting the second game. And then game number 3, it was just, we didn't have enough time. We ran out of time. So it's a tie. Both of our tournament hopes are now over, but there's still 4 more rounds left to play, so I'm gonna play them out, see how I do. All the matches for the rest of the day are gonna be super fun, super lighthearted, not sweaty at all, because everyone I'm gonna be playing against for the rest of the tournament have been eliminated from the tournament for day 2. So let's have some fun. The next round is about to start pretty soon, but my opponent for round number 5, I think, was a no-show. Just no one came. And then my neighbor beside me, well, he's not here now. He's actually sitting across from me, Tim.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
He had a no-show as well.
I had a no-show as well.
So what happened? What
Double
exactly?
no-show. So pretty much, we asked if we could play, and the judge was like, "Yeah, absolutely, you guys can play right now." So we decided to play.
And he has had the most blinged out new deck I've ever seen in my life, and he absolutely destroyed my booty cheeks. I just got destroyed, man. So
GG's, man.
And yeah, next rounds are gonna be fun. And oh man, I'm gonna have nightmares of Drapion being missing forever. I don't know if I'm gonna live this down. So for round number 7, you guys just saw, we played against a Palkia Ice Rider deck. Michelle, pleasure to play against you. Great game. And I am so sad that we ended up tying their Ice Rider Palkia. Like, I told the boys that, they were like, yo, what's one matchup you wish you could have that would like basically be an auto win? And I told them Ice Rider. And I tied. So she won the first game, I won the second one, and then we just ran out of time for the third. But it was a really, really close matchup, closer than I would like it to be. 2 more matches left to go. Round number 8 is done, and we played against Robbie using a control deck. The very first and only control deck I've played against today, and I haven't played against a control deck in forever. Now, I just got set up really well, and my deck is a really good counter to his control deck, being able to one-shot his Mewtwo V Union, and I just had a lot of stuff going for me. I was able to knock out multiple one-prizers turn after turn, and his deck really doesn't work against mine. So after one game, or pretty much the end of one game, he's like, yo, you got this, I'm just gonna give you the win. So we ended up winning the 2-0 match, I guess, and Robbie was really cool. Told him about the channels. He subscribed everything in front of me, which is awesome. Round 9 coming up. We got 1 more round left to play out, and I'm excited. We also played another fun game where I just used my Giratina deck instead, and the Giratina deck is amazing. So I'm probably gonna use it for a bunch of side events tomorrow. So we got 1 more round left. Round 9 is complete, and we played again another control player. So I played back-to-back control players. I was not expecting that. The first one was the Mewtwo control. The second one was more of a traditional control. And the first game for that last matchup was insane. I had the best start of my entire life. My opening hand was the one-off copy of Metagross. So you just draw it and then draw 3 cards. It's insane. Second game went pretty much to almost not full time, but my full deck, I almost decked out. I had to be so careful with everything I did, because resource management against control is insanely hard to do. So I ended up coming up on top with a crazy scoop up net to boss's orders play to win the game for the final 2 prizes on an Eldegoss that was hiding in the bench. which I was feasting on. I had the game plan. I just had to make sure I didn't prize my last copy of Boss, or my only copy of Boss. My final record is 4-3-2, 4 wins, 3 losses, and 2 ties. And we are absolutely starving, so we're gonna probably grab some McDonald's pizza, which is kind of exciting. If you made it to the end of this video, comment down below Zation Gang if you did, and I'll be sure to show you some love. With that said, click on screen again to watch another tournament vlog. I'll catch you later. Peace out.